Good morning, YouTube. Apparently we have yet another sketchy dealership doing sketchy deals.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan and we are at our dealership NG Supercars, and today I was sent a message from one of my viewers and they said, hey, check this out, another dealer doing sketchy things. So I'm going to talk about this video, and actually I have not talked to the people involved, but there is a video about this, so I'm going to link it in the description below, and you should probably go watch the whole thing. Hooray! And what a shock. Another dealership doing shady things. Wow, what are the odds? This was actually reported by a news agency.
Is the Lamborghini that Stephen Jane thought he had just bought ordered the car online in June using a popular website he thought he could trust.
Basically, the gist of the story is that this couple wanted to buy a Lamborghini Urus from Lux Auto, and I think they're in Ohio. There's some weird things here, and I'm not sure the news necessarily portrayed all the details, or maybe the people didn't tell the details. There's some questions I have about this particular transaction. Apparently they negotiated on this car and came to a deal and then sent a $30,000 deposit, which is odd. That's a very, very large deposit. I've never really heard of any dealers requiring that large of a deposit. Now, here's where it gets weird though, is they said, hey, we sent the deposit, but we never got the car.
After I wire that money, the car is in transportation, quote unquote, from California to Florida.
That was in June.
And every day there was a different story.
As far as I'm aware, there's no dealership on earth that's going to send you the car until you've paid in full for the car. I don't know if they understand that, or if they did pay it in full or they didn't. It sounds like they didn't pay in full, because in the video they say, hey, we wanted our $30,000 back or the deposit back or whatever, and they've been saying how they haven't received the car. There's possibly multiple things going on here. One, the dealership may be playing games and took the deposit and then never finalized the transaction. I don't know, maybe they didn't have possession of the car, because they said they keep trying to upsell them into a more expensive car. So it's entirely possible that they may have sold a car they didn't have, or sold a car that they didn't want to sell, or I don't know, maybe they got an offer for more. Something weird there. Okay, yes, the dealership is definitely doing something shady there. The fact that they are only talking about getting their deposit back suggests to me they never paid in full. Yeah, that actually is normal. To me, that's maybe not sketchy. That's actually if you buy a car from us and you say, hey, I want you to hold the car for a while, we're going to say, great, give us a deposit. Our deposits are usually a couple $1,000s, not $30,000. That's absurd. But then if you didn't buy the car, if you didn't pay in full, you wouldn't get the car. We're not going to, you don't send us part of the payment for the car and then be like, oh, give me the car. No, that car is not leaving here. You're not getting keys or a title until we have the entirety of the money. So yeah, that's something ain't right here. I will say, be careful doing deposits that are that large. I don't know any dealerships that require that large a deposit to hold a car. Usually it's a couple $1,000s. The most I've ever seen is maybe 10%, which is still, the car was listed for $170,000. So even if it was 10%, that'll be $17,000. They gave closer to 20%. Another weird thing, and I'm not judging here, but I guess I kind of am. They mentioned wanting to buy this car because they wanted to rent it out.
He also saw a business opportunity.
Some people in my real estate office actually rent their vehicles out, normally higher end vehicles, and make money that way.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, we've got our experience renting out supercars, and just no, it's a terrible idea. Please don't. Leave that to people like Rob Ferretti who know what they're doing. You don't want to get into the business of renting out expensive cars. It's a terrible idea. You're not going to make money. You're just going to end up with all sorts of problems. So that's not a good idea. This whole thing is just weird. It's a weird situation. I don't want to throw the dealership totally under the bus, but at the same time, the reviews are pretty negative. And also, if you give a $30,000 deposit and the transaction doesn't conclude, you probably need to give that the deposit back, or at least prorated or something. They said that this has been going on since June. Okay, so that's a big problem. If you've been waiting, almost 6 months to close a transaction on a car. Something weird's going on there. If we don't close a deal within a week or so, it's usually like, okay, what's going on here? Now, that being said, we have had some of our really large transactions take a while just because of like the buyers getting funding and the bank wants us to jump through these hoops and the insurance wants proof of this or that or whatever. That can take and make the transactions take a while. Like, I think the longest we've ever had from the time that we got a deposit to the time we closed a car is about a month, which is really long, and that's only happened like once. So usually it's closed within a week. If you're gonna ask us to hold a car for more than that period of time, that's why you have to give a deposit, because if you ask us to hold the car for that long, we're paying interest on it, insurance and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And then if the deal falls through because you can't get financing or your insurance or whatever, that's not our fault. We shouldn't have to be punished for it, thus a deposit. But again, $30,000 deposit? No, never. That's crazy. Go watch the video and then come back here and give us your comments below, because something's not right. If you guys see any other sketchy dealers doing weird things, feel free to send me information about it. Or if you are a victim of a dealership doing sketchy things, feel free to reach out to us, sales@normalguysupercar.com. Maybe we can discuss it and bring some light to it, because I guess now I'm the reporting on dealership scammer guy. I don't know how this happened. I'm not like enthusiastic about this, as you can tell. Yeah. That's all you get. Okay. Moving on. We'll see you in the next video. We'll be doing a lot of cool car stuff, so you're gonna want to stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.